If you're watching this, chances are that you've been carrying something really heavy for a while. Something happened and you tried to move forward, and somehow it feels like it's still holding you back. Maybe you've tried therapy before and it didn't quite get you there. It didn't quite do what you'd hoped for. Here's what I see over and over again in my years of experience as a trauma therapist and in leading a team of trauma therapists. People come to us after months or oftentimes years of therapy where they were just kind of asked, "How was your week?" And that feels good and it feels supportive and it is helpful to just talk about your week. But if you are struggling with PTSD or with trauma that just doesn't let go, you really need more than a weekly check-in. You need specialized care. You need us to follow proven methods for helping you recover from trauma. And that's why I built Aspire Counseling. I'd had multiple other worlds where I had watched people suffer from things that were not their fault, that they hadn't asked for. Sometimes they felt like it was their fault. Oftentimes we try to find an explanation that blames ourselves, but they were left feeling stuck. And I was being trained in these wonderful evidence-based treatments for trauma and didn't always have time to use them. So at Aspire Counseling, every single therapist on our team is trained in at least one evidence-based treatment, usually EMDR or cognitive processing therapy, or if they work with kids, trauma-focused cognitive processing therapy. And several of us are trained in other modalities that are also really good for trauma. We don't just talk about trauma. It's not just one thing that we do. Our therapists do this every single day. We understand trauma. We understand how it impacts your brain. We understand what it's going to take to help you on the next steps of your healing journey. We also know that you're an individual. What you went through, it's not the same as what somebody else went through. What you need to feel better, yes, you need a structured, proven approach. You also need a therapist that's going to meet you right where you are, that's going to listen to you, that's going to care about the things that you care about. So when you work with us, you'll have a therapist who has a plan, not just someone nodding along as you vent, not just somebody empathizing with you, though they will empathize with you. You have someone who understands, though, an actual path forward for you to find healing. I have watched people go through the worst moments of their life. I've watched people who have been through things that they just didn't know how to heal from, that they didn't know if they could ever be happy again, that things so unimaginable that that no human should have to go through that. And then when they find healing, they can start to move towards being the person that they want to be. It might not look the same as it did before the trauma. It might not look like the version of themselves that they would have been if the trauma hadn't happened, but it can be a life-changing transformation and they can move towards happiness, towards meaning in life. If you're ready to stop just managing the pain, if you're ready to actually start healing, our trauma therapists are here. This is what we do. We believe that therapy can transform lives. We believe it can bring healing. And we believe that you deserve actual healing. You deserve something that's going to work. You don't have to keep carrying the weight of your past alone. We are here. Please reach out and let's get you some relief.